Okay, I want to hear what you're most excited about with the club.
I'm just excited to have it and to make a place in Austin where comics can work out all the time. I just want it where people can develop. We're going to have a nice open mic program. We brought in Adam Egett, who is the talent coordinator for the Comedy Store, and we brought it in with a. We brought him in. We brought this great staff in with a specific idea to make it a place where comics can start out, develop, become a professional. There's a clear path. Instead of comedy has always been like very difficult for people to go from being an open micer to being a professional to making it. If you go to an open mic nights are littered with people who are talented that for whatever reason they didn't get enough breaks where it encouraged them to keep going, and they had other opportunities in life, which most smart people do, and they did something else, and then maybe they came back to it later, and then they realized how far behind they were for the other people that were already, now they're working professionals now, and they start thinking, fuck, I could be out there like Big J. Okerson, I could be out there like Ari Shaffir, and they never really make it. And there's a lot of funny people that never really make it. It's real weird. And I think every other art form has like a very clear path. Like if you are a concert pianist, you can learn how to play piano. You can take lessons. You can get better at it. You can learn how to play guitar. Someone will teach you how to make the chords and make the notes and all the stuff. I don't know how to play guitar. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
But
I got you.
The thing about comedy is you have to figure it out on your own. And everybody figures it out differently because there's so many different fucking styles. There's Jay London style. There's Louis C.K. style. There's so many styles. There's Chris Rock style. Everybody has a different way of being funny. And you need a place where you know that they are hoping that you get better. And they want you to get better. Not just like a dog-eat-dog world like the store used to be or like a lot of these other places are, but a place that encourages people to be better and to get better at comedy and gives you a place where you can try it out and you can get to see, like, one of the things about the store that was so great is, Chris Rock would come into town and he would go and do a set and we'd all sit in the back and watch. Like, you get a chance to watch the best comics in the world all the time. And I think we could do that here. And I think it's a service to comedy. I think it'd be great for all of us. Selfishly, it'd be great for me. And so that's why I decided to do it.
I think Austin is a lot better of a place to have this kind of camaraderie and less cynicism than New York and LA. I think those cities, especially LA, from my understanding, are far more competitive in a negative sense, where you think if someone's succeeding, it's because it's at your expense. Whereas everything I've seen here, everyone who's making it happen are so into helping each other out and having each other's back and being like fans of one another.
That was an environment that we fostered at the Comedy Store. And I think that environment, a lot of it came out of the recognition that in the world of podcasting, we're no longer competitors to each other. Right. We're actually assets to each other. And being friends with people like you, or being friends with Lex, or being friends with any comics, like, you want other people to know about them. Like, you want, everybody benefits from, like, people generally know that if I have someone on, especially like you who's been on more than once, like, I like them and they're fun and we have cool conversations. So they go and gravitate towards you. It helps them trust me and my taste for guests, and it helps you, and it elevates everybody. It used to not be that way. It used to be everybody was competing to be Seinfeld. There's only one Seinfeld. He's the star of the show. There's only one time slot. It's like, fucking Thursday night at 8 p.m. That's when it is. You got to be on. No one gets that spot other than Seinfeld. You got to wait until he retires. And so then there's the Friends spot, and there's the Caroline and the City spot. There's a very small number of things, and if you got that, it was life-changing. And people around people got those things, and their life changed, and they're driving a Mercedes, and you're the same fucking guy in a Hyundai, and you do better than him. Like, you go up at Wednesday night at 10 p.m., and maybe he struggles following you, but it doesn't matter because he got a fucking sitcom.
Right.
And the sitcom was like the holy grail. That was the thing that everybody wanted. And so everybody got like hyper competitive and looked at each other as being like an impediment. Like, there was you're gonna be in competition with me for my dream.
Right. I don't have it because you took it from me.
Yeah. Well, that's how people thought. Like, I could have been that guy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of those guys that were like hanging around the Comedy Store when I first got there in '94 that missed the Kinnison wave. There's waves that come, or like great comics come through, and along with them, a lot of other great comics come. And there's like the Kinnison, Bill Hicks, and there was so many guys that came along during that time, and Dice Clay, and some guys just missed that wave. They just didn't put it together for whatever reason. And there was a lot of those guys that were hanging around the store when I got there. I was like, oh, this is not good. You know, it's like comics rely on community. It's a very important part of what we do. Like you have fun with each other. Like you support each other. You laugh with each other. It's fun. Like Stanhope once famously said, he goes, "I could give up comedy, but I couldn't give up comedians."
Yeah, when I'm hanging out with you guys backstage at Vulcan, everyone is so friendly, and they're busting each other's balls, of course. But it's really welcoming, which
fun.
is not like it's how New York was at some times in some places, but there's a lot of in New York this kind of like who's this guy? What can he do for me? You know, what's his follower count? What's this? What's that? And I don't feel that here at all.
We had managed to avoid a lot of that in LA at the store at one point in time. It wasn't all of us though, because the store is all kinds of different personalities. And some personalities don't feel like they're getting their just due, and some personalities are bitter, and some personalities are angry that someone is successful or famous, that people like them.
Yeah.
And it's just wasted energy. But there's always going to be those people when you have those hyper-competitive environments that aren't supportive. You know, it's a thing that you learn coming up. You know, if you learn that, you see how, like, have you ever seen a guy who steals and he brings opening acts and the opening act starts stealing? That used to be a real thing.
What? Really?
Yeah. The guys who steal, they would have opening acts, and those opening acts would be stealing too because they learned from the guy who was the big guy.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So there was a few of those guys that would go on the road and steal, and a lot of their opening acts would wind up be joke buccaneers too, and it'd be a real problem. And we realized, we'd say, oh, he worked with him. And he'd be like, oh, okay.
And then he thinks it's okay because it's like you follow your mentors.
This is just what they do.
Right.
This is what people do. You know,
no one makes up jokes. I heard it somewhere.
Yeah,
Right,
everyone thinks the same things. There's only 7 jokes.
Well, it's also the kind of thing where the guy tells like Simpsons quotes at a party, so he's funny. So he's like, why can't I just do this on stage? So he's not going to think anything's weird that I'm doing Simpsons jokes on stage or like whatever jokes.